Hello everyone, it's Red with RedDragonLeo.com, and the big story today is the big dump at 4:15 of the market. According to Zero Hedge, there is $500 million worth of trades that dumped, and they're showing the print. This is not a fake print, this was a real print. This really did happen. So it's another flash crash, basically. So there's your story over on Zero Hedge, telling you. So as far as, giving us some direction as to where the market's going to go, I think we're going to go down, but I wouldn't pin anything specific on this print. So, and again, to see a better view of it here, you can see it right here. In my charts, but I'd be more likely to look at this print right here, which is about 117.65 or something, maybe 117.60, 117.65. That low print right there would be more likely a print that you would look for as far as some possible downside to at least tomorrow. Anyway, so don't get too excited about the fake print. I don't think it was not a fake print. Okay, it was a real print according to the Zero Hedge article here. So you can go over to Zero Hedge and watch it if you want. So okay, so that covers that. Now back to the market. Let's see here. As far as the market is going here, we're looking at the 30-minute chart, and as you can see, we've got now 1, 2, 3 tops here. We are up above the zero. No signs of it rolling over yet, but it is going up. No signs of rolling over on this, but yes, there is signs on the full stochastic. That doesn't mean it can't chop around a little before it rolls over, though. But personally, based upon what I see in the after hours that we've already sold off, due to Apple not meeting their estimates, or at least as far as their forward outlook, it didn't look good. So they dropped about 20 points in after hours. So unless JP Morgan and the other banksters come out with really stellar earnings to where they can manipulate the market back up, which is very possible, folks. Remember, I said this week's going to be choppy, meaning that it'll be some wild swings as they work this out. Is basically they, some of them are going to be good earnings. Some of the companies are going to have good earnings and manipulate the market higher because of it, and other ones are going to have bad earnings and sell the market off. So it's going to be kind of a tug of war. So my thinking is that we break down tomorrow morning from blame it on Apple. We break down and sell off most of tomorrow. Where we go, I don't know. Possibly in here for support, or in this area for support, or maybe just a double bottom right here, and roll this over on this chart and roll it over here on the 30-minute chart. It'll do the same thing on the 15-minute chart. If you look at the 15-minute chart, you can see same scenario. You would just roll it over and run it down into oversold territory. 60-minute chart, same thing. You break the trend line, you run down. This kind of gives you a little better idea for support right there. It looks like there's quite a bit of support. If you draw just a horizontal line across this top and across this bottom, and you got a bunch of support there in the 1167 area or something like that. So if you did fall down to there, it's very likely that they could, it would, get this in an oversold condition on the 30-minute, 60-minute, and 15-minute charts, all the short-term charts. And so with Wednesday having the POMO money, they very well could go back up and do a back test on maybe, earnings from one of the banks or some other company that's coming out either Tuesday after the bell or Wednesday morning or something. I'd have to look and see which ones are coming out, because there's a bunch of them. But and there'll be some coming out before the bell tomorrow too. So it's very, very possible that even if we break down here, we'll do a back test before they finally roll this market over. I think we are still in a topping process. I would be shocked if they reported bad earnings on the banks too and caused this thing to really sell off hard. If so, then we got a gap right here that they'll likely fill at some point down there at 1140 area. I don't know. I'm not going to call for that to go down there, okay? That would be crazy. And I'm certainly not going to call for them to go all the way down to the 106 fake print, or not fake print, but flash crash that we just had there at 415. I'm not calling for that at all. I don't necessarily expect that. That's crazy. Could it happen? Sure, but is it likely? No. With the elections, I think again this week's going to be some choppy. I think it'll still end up down for the week, and then next week is I think when we'll see some pretty decent selling. So maybe this week it chops down here a little bit and ends up around in here. Maybe it ends up right around in here. Maybe go down, back up, kind of chop, maybe put in a bear flag, chop around a little bit to allow this to slowly start to roll over, and then next week really roll over hard. So it's possible again down to this 1160 area. You can see here in the daily, lots of support in that area, maybe, and then back up a day on Wednesday for the POMO, and then we just have to take it day by day. But Thursday and Friday could be down at least a little bit, and maybe it goes back down to this area here, this 1140 area. I don't know if we're going to get that this week, but I do see it's trailing down this week. Now this is all out of the cards if they want to take it down, because if they want to take it down, then all they got to do is just release some bad earnings on them banks, and yeah, they'll bust right through these supports, and we'll have them move down like this right here. I just don't know if they are ready for that week to start yet or not. Remember, they control this market, so I think they're going to try to churn some more. I don't know, it's a gut feeling, but I just think they're going to try to churn some more before they run this into next week, and then next week it's all going to be about the elections, and market will, maybe they'll get the media distracted, and then they can sell it off, and because you're going to be November 2nd is the election, so chop it around this week, maybe next week start to sell off, and people won't notice as the election is going on, and then take it. Now this again all assumes that we are going to roll over finally here on the weekly chart, and start to roll over and come down similar to this right here again. If they do not want to do that, if they put in one of these lower histogram towers, it is still possible that they roll down and then roll back up, and when they roll back up, they'll put in some lower histogram towers, but the market will actually go up higher. So while this to me looks like it's about done with an A, B, C move, if they pull back down to this, say this support area over the next couple weeks, or a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you see you got 1, 2, 3, they can do it in 3 weeks. If they pull back to that support area and it held, they could push on up and go to that stupid fake print up at 11,800 on the Diamond Spider Trust. So I'm not ruling it out yet. We have to break this support here. If we can break this support and get on down here to this 1040, I think it'll break at that point. But we just have to play this ear by ear or day by day, and it just all again depends upon what they got planned and what they're going to stage. If they do another false flag event and set off some disaster or create some disaster or whatever, this thing is going to really, it's going to crash down. But I don't know when that's going to happen, if they're going to do it or not. I hope they don't. I really would like to see them stopped. I'd like to see the good guys, the white hats, the people in the Pentagon that are fighting the feds, and arrest these guys and stop them before they do something like set off a suitcase nuke or whatever they got planned up their sleeve, before they try to stage another BP disaster. It's very, very disheartening. I try to to keep a positive outlook on people and life, but it's hard with all these crooks out here just trying to create chaos and murder, and it's horrible. But anyway, here's our PMO schedule. As you can see, the 18th we had one today in the morning, and the next one is not till Wednesday, and then we got one Friday. So that leaves us with some chop. But they're pumping a lot of money in. According to Zero Hedge, they pumped in a lot of money today, and it didn't hardly move the market at all. So what's that tell you? It tells you it certainly is losing a lot of its power. So while this is helping support the market, understand that the charts will ultimately work out. They will. No amount of manipulation is going to stop it when all the charts line up. When you've got the dollar bottoming, I think Ron Walker's got a picture of the dollar here somewhere on one of his pages. But anyway, when you get the dollar bottoming and the euro topping, and seasonality wise, you've got just so many factors here that point to this market at least correcting over the next week or two, at least down to this area here. If this moves up, it'll form a nice little necktie of support, and it should bounce off of it and go back up. Now, how high? Again, I don't know. Is it going to turn and go back up to that fake print into the first of the year, like some people think it is? And if that's the case, then man, it's going to set up one huge crash around, I'd say, January, February time if we do that, because that's what it's going to take before we get back up to that 1260 to 1280, which is the estimated target for the fake print for 11,800. So, but for now, let's just play this short term, and short term says we go down at least tomorrow, maybe a bounce on Wednesday from the PMO money. Don't know how big, have no idea. Thursday, it will depend upon what Wednesday does, how high it does, and where it puts the charts. So, and then of course Friday will be another PMO day. So, maybe break down and maybe try to run back up and do a back test if they can. I don't know, or maybe just run down and then chop sideways a little bit with a bear flag for Thursday. So that's a possibility too. So interesting day. As IBM, like I said, IBM beat, but they still sold off a little bit. But Apple fell short on their future guidance, and they sold off about 20 points in after hours. Doesn't mean they can't buy them back up, but again, they can. If the banks do good, they'll rally the market from the banks, so they'll try. I don't think they're going to go too far, though. I really, really don't. I think the best they can do is hold it stable, because of all the PMO money that they put in there, which was a lot, and the fact that they don't have any for tomorrow, but they put in a ton today, and they really didn't get anywhere today, that tells me that they need to, they're going to have to back it down first so they can get a better run at going up. It's kind of the fall back, guys, before we go forward, because we don't have any support up here supporting us. Let's fall back to a support level at some point, and let's rally on up from the support level. So is it here? I don't know. Or is it down here? We'll just have to wait and see. But I'm looking for a down day, certainly in the morning tomorrow. It should be the biggest part of the sell-off. How deep it goes and whether it not causes these charts to get really oversold or not. I mean, it could go down here and get pretty oversold and cause it to run back up throughout the rest of the day a little bit. So just be aware of that. You want to take some profits. If you see this thing buried pretty deep on all the charts and it's sold off pretty hard, you might want to take some profits, because we're still in a chop season. So just play it by ear. And of course, if it starts trading sideways afterwards, it's not going back up. That's a bear flag. But so look for those bottoming tails. Look for stuff like this: bottoming tail, bottoming tail, bottoming tail. You see, stuff like this, you're going to get tricked. That was a bear flag that did not play out. More manipulation. So nothing's perfect, folks. But anyway, good luck tomorrow, everyone.